Hello, Mia.
Hi.
How are you doing? You're right.
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. How are you?
Sweaty. It's really warm. It's really dull and dreary outside, but it's so hot. So hopefully that fan isn't going to cause too much of a problem. Welcome to You Country, the country music show that's all about you, kind of. If you just want to tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Yeah. So my name's Mia Ardinez. I am a musician, I'm an artist, and I'm a songwriter, producer, and yeah, anything anything that makes a sound, I'll play it.
Fair enough. So what? So the title of the show is You Country. So what makes you country? And we've had conversations about this before. So
Yeah. Um, Definitely my songwriting. So, um, generally in the music that I make and release is um more on the rock side, the heavier side of music. But I don't think I would even be doing this if it wasn't for music and being inspired by the songwriting and the storytelling. Um, it's just brilliant. Initially, I used to enjoy writing poetry at school. So they'd ship me off to all of these weekend courses to do extra stuff like that. So it's it feels like poetry, but just to music, which I love.
that's a fair enough comment. So you class yourself as emo as well? Totally emo. I think I read that right.
Yes.
Eternally emo is the word I'm looking at.
Yeah. So like I said, I love rock music, but I think the reason I love emo is because it's got that country feel to it. A lot of the times, personally, I'm sure it does have meaning, but a lot of the times traditional rock music doesn't feel like it's about much. It's about the sound, it's about the big riffs, and I think that's what it's there for. But emo rock feels like a country musician's picked up an electric guitar, and it's like, let's write this heavy music, but about stuff that makes us sad and makes us angry and stuff that makes us happy. Just, yeah, it's rock with soul, I feel
So
like.
pretty much three chords and the truth all the way through, but like probably a few more
Exactly.
chords in the case of emo. So your music seems to be going well. You're busy everywhere from all the gigs that I see you've posted up. So and you're like you are what's the word I'm looking for? You are a professional songwriter, right? You've got a degree in songwriting, is that correct? So how did that come
Yeah,
about?
yeah. Well, from the very beginning, my mum bought a keyboard, one of those ones with the light up keys that kind of teach,
Okay.
you can then kind of teach yourself how to play. Um, Long story short, she didn't touch it for years, but I did. So I started teaching myself how to play the piano. And then I would discover that I really loved recording. So I had an iPod Nano, like the long one, the screen. It was the first one that had a camera and a microphone. I got it for my
Oh
ninth
wow.
birthday. I was like, I can't believe I still got this. Um, and I used to try doing multi-track recordings by recording on that, then uploading it to my laptop, then playing it out of my laptop again. And that's how I would spend, like as a 10-year-old, just trying to do multi-track recording. Um, and yeah, I decided that it was I loved, and I my only choice was to do an A level at music, which will be very classical, which at the time wasn't that fun because I had to do all the fun songwriting and band stuff and producing. But I'm really grateful for it because you learn so much about where the music we have now comes from.
Yeah.
And because I did then eventually have some piano lessons, so I could read music away. Um, so that was good. But then yeah, I went to uni to do the fun stuff. Got an undergraduate in creative artistry, so kind of being clear degree on how to be an artist. And I did that in vocals. And then I did my postgrad in Brighton, which was songwriting.
And was that a BIM? Was that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it a bit
Okay.
in Brighton.
It seems to be the school for everyone at the moment, doesn't it? So
It's
we
good.
we're just going to pause it there just for a second. I've asked you to choose three songs that are on Spotify to put into the U Country podcast playlist. We used to play the songs on the show, but unfortunately Spotify decided to remove that feature. So we're now putting them into the playlist. So what's the first song that you're going to choose to pop into the playlist today?
So the first one is potentially, it's a big statement, but I think it's one of my all-time favorite songs.
Okay.
And it's She's Country by Jason Aldean.
There we go. So we're popping She's Country by Jason Aldean into that playlist. Someday we're going to have this big graphic where it drops in, but I can't do all that at the moment. So getting back to the production and stuff like that. I know how you feel. My pain was back in the old days. We used to have tape recorders and you used to have to record it and then play it and then record it on another one and bounce it across, and then eventually you lose the first track that you did because it sounded awful. But what's your favorite part of recording? Like the whole process. What's your favorite part of, in recording and production?
My favorite part when you listen back to that first demo for the first time, or even sometimes it's the first demo, or once you've got all of the different stems, so the final, like the final guitar and the final bass, the final drums, drag it all in, you do your editing and your mixing, and then you just have that first listen back. It's just nothing like it. I'll never forget when through my A level, one of the modules was to write a song, like a contemporary song, which was the best bit. And I'd spent most of after schools in a week just working on this song. And the Friday night, just before I was about to leave, and it was just, yeah, it was the best feeling in the world. It's like everything that you can imagine sounding in your head, you can actually hear it. And for so long, because I didn't know how to produce, so going through school, it wasn't something that we were taught really. And
Yeah.
also we used Cubase, which just doesn't work for my brain. Even now I look at it, like I can produce music now, I look at Cubase now, I'm just like, how does this work? Everything's in the wrong place. Just
So
my brain doesn't work with Cubase.
I
But
I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
but yeah, it's the first listen back when you're like, because when you're working away, you focus so like, is that snare sound right? Is that kick punching as much as it should? But then when you lack it, kind of all of that doesn't matter anymore, and you're just like, I made this. There's like, and if I put it on a memory stick, I can hold this thing. It's like it becomes real.
Yeah. The old days we used to do tapes and CDs, but yeah, we don't tend to do those too much. So what are your influences in songwriting, in recording, in producing? What are your influences? Who are your influences? And is there anybody that you've recorded for other than yourself? And like, how has that come about?
Mhm. So, Carrie Underwood is the one for me. She is just incredible. And actually, Carrie Underwood was my first introduction to country. So my grandfather loves country music. Ironically, my parents don't. My parents hate country music. Well, they
Right.
say they do. I'm slowly brainwashing them.
Everyone loves country music. They just
Yeah,
yeah.
denial. But yeah, my grandfather loves it. So I always heard quite old, very traditional um country and western boogie woogie stuff like that. Um, but I loved um Taylor Swift and Miley Cyrus when I was really young. And it was back in the day of music channels, which music channels make me feel old. Tape recorders might make you feel old, but it's the
Music
music
channels
channels
make
for
me
me.
feel old as well. So yeah.
Because that was all I used to watch. And there was one special that was Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, and I'd never heard of Carrie Underwood, but I was like, well, I'll just listen for the Taylor and the Miley songs. And then I heard Carrie Underwood's music and I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. I love it. Um So again, I bought the song that I heard on that show on my iPod Nano for 99p, which they were always very considered purchases. I was not going to spend 90p here and there. I was going to use my 99p wisely. So after my calculated purchase, I got that on my iPod. And yeah, then as Spotify came around, listened to more of the albums. It was incredible. Just her voice. And as well, because I love artists like Evanescence, more from a
Yeah.
sonic point of view, is generally what my music is inspired by. Just that powerhouse vocal. And it's like it's trained vocal as well. It's not somebody that's just sung at home all their life and just like it's not a traditional pop voice, which I really like because that feels like that's what you hear most of the time. But it's powerful and it's got range and it's loud and I love it. So from a performance, a songwriting perspective, they are definitely big influences. Um, and then production wise is really a mix. I think I feel most inspired production wise by modern country. So
Okay.
I know there's a bit of a debate between old country, modern country, but
Modern country
I think
becomes
it's
old country. So yeah.
exactly, and I think it's positive. Um, Different styles get mixed with country music,
Yeah.
and therefore different techniques. And it's great, and it exposes people to different styles of music and ways of writing and using instruments. Uh, I love the crossovers. So you've got like Breland, he loves to do crossover with like hip hop and
Yeah.
country, or you've got then country rock is my favorite, not biased at all, but it is the best genre. And yeah, you just hear things, you get exposed to things in a way that feels comfortable because it's
Yeah.
that you like to listen to. But then you hear this and you're like, oh, I wonder how I could recreate that. Um, so yeah, I'm a big fan of mixing.
Sorry, the Wi-Fi just went whoop, slowed down there a little bit. But yeah, you're a fan of mixing the genres.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we're gonna expect a like a genre crossover album coming from you anytime soon then.
yeah, it's already in production.
There we go. There we go. So we first met at Country to Country this year,
Yeah.
2024. So other than meeting me, of course, what was your favorite part of the whole experience?
Oh wow.
I
Think it
should caveat
was
that by you were like artist liaison, weren't you? You were like
I
is that
was.
yeah. So you were there
Yeah,
to
so I worked in
support the
the
artist. Yeah.
artist lounge, exactly. So I would be there in the artist lounge and yeah, just make sure everyone was feeling good, had everything they needed and knew where they were going, most
Yeah.
importantly, because it's a big place. And
Yeah.
if it's your first time in the country, let alone the OT, it's useful to know where you're going and where the best place to eat is. Um,
Where was that then? Where would
so
you
yeah.
say? Where was you? Can you say where the
Oh,
best place to eat was?
for the Americans, you got to send them to Nando's.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, it didn't work for the Red Hill Valleys because they're from Canada and they've got that. They
They
knew what
like
was up.
Greg's. They like Greg's.
Yeah,
That was their whole thing was Greg's. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, just send them to Nando's. You can't be in the UK and not experience those. But anyway,
Yeah.
um, I loved the buzz was incredible. People coming in, seeing somebody they'd never met, and be like, "Oh, hi," or like meeting somebody and be like, "Oh, I'm this person. Oh, I know you. You're from that." It was just, yeah, it was like all the best parts of being an artist and that kind of that community and that networking, the connection that you build. It's
Yeah.
like to be there and experience it, be part of it as well. People were coming up to me, be like, "Oh, what do you do?" Like me? Thank you for asking. But yeah, I loved it. And also obviously working there, I got to see the shows in the evening, um, which is just incredible. Be there anyway. So to get to work there during the day and then get to go, it's not a job really, is it?
No, absolutely. If you, oh, I'm not going to do the, I'm not going to do the old cliche. I might do it in a little bit, yeah. But so did you get to meet any of the bigger names that were there? Any of the arena headliners?
The only person I met from the arena was Alana Springsteen. So the artist lounge that I worked in was for the festival artists.
Yes.
So the artists during the day on the stages that were around the main venue. So they're who I was dealing with day to day. But I stayed on the Saturday night after the main show to watch Alana Springsteen at the Indigo, which is another substage
Oh,
in
okay,
the
yeah, yeah.
O2. And then after that, I went backstage and just
Nice.
got to meet her. I cried so much at that as well. It's not like me to cry just at much, but she's 2 days older than me. So we're very much at the
She's how
same
many? Sorry?
phase of life. 2 days older than me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we're we're at the same place in our lives. We're going through the same things. And I don't know what it I don't know if it's like those songs I listen to when I'm going to work every day or something. Just seeing her standing there, standing in front of her singing them, I lost it. And some guy came up to me at the end and was like, I just wanted to check you were okay because I saw you were a bit emotional. I'm like, I'm fine, I promise. Just got a bit
Nice.
much. But yeah, I got to see her afterwards and just say, it was so
Fantastic.
cool. Have a quick
I
chat with her.
we'll tag her into the video so she can like see one of her fans. I was lucky enough to meet Brad very briefly. I don't know if I told you that.
Oh wow.
We so James and I, James from Live in the Living Room and I were down. We were able to go between both rooms. And we were just about to get kicked out, but we were asked just to be quiet because Brad was coming down. So I managed to get a fist bump from Brad. That was about as far as it went.
Wait.
All his bouncers and his minders were all surrounding me so that I couldn't get to him, but I managed to sneak underneath. And he seemed quite nice enough. So we're gonna move on to the second song now for the playlist. So what is
Yep.
it and why have you chosen it?
It is For Everybody Else by Carrie Underwood, aforementioned Queen of Country, in my opinion. Um, and yeah, I think this also, the reason I've chosen this goes back to that genre mix that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
It's from her latest album, Denim and Rhinestones, and it was influenced a lot by George Michael, so it had quite
Oh, okay.
80s vibes to it, which was interesting to me because notoriously the 80s music isn't my favorite. Um, but then she also had quite a big influence from Guns N' Roses because she'd been touring with them as well. So this song is more influenced by the Guns N' Roses, but I just think it's her at her best. She's belting, there's electric guitars, it's all going on, and it's just incredible.
Well, there we go. We're dropping that into the playlist now. And Mia, guess what time it is? It's time for the
What
quiz.
time is it?
It's time for the quiz. So Mia, you are in the quiz booth now. You can't see it, but you will see it once you hit YouTube. So
Okay.
this is I should say, what do they know? This is the quiz that everyone's talking. They're not talking about it at all, but this is the quiz that everyone's doing. Currently, we have a leader of Sammy Saravia. She is now in the lead. She's taken over from Tennessee Twin. They had 14 points with The Big Bang Theory, and I believe Sammy is
Okay.
on 15 with Dirty Dancing. So.
Okay.
You have so you tell us what you've chosen as your chosen subject.
I have chosen The Sims 4 computer game.
Okay, that's fine. It's you know, we had Amelia Quinn with crystals and she did really well as well. So We're going to see if this works. I'm going to see there's been some problems with the timer on some of the past episodes, so hopefully I'm going to get this right this time. And obviously we are having some
Okay.
problems with the internet at the moment, so I'll be a bit more lenient for certain things if there's any dropouts. Okay, so
All
are
right.
you sitting comfortably?
I am.
Okay, then we will begin, hopefully. So, Mia, which of the following is a base game world in The Sims 4? Is it Windenburg, Solani, Willow Creek, or Henford on Bagley?
Willow Creek.
That is correct. Which expansion pack introduced the ability to have pets in Sims 4? Is it City Living, Cats and Dogs, Get Famous, or Seasons?
Cats and dogs.
That is correct. In which pack can Sims become spellcasters? There's no multiple choice in this one.
Realm of Magic.
That is correct. What is the maximum number of Sims that you can have in a household without mods? Is it 6, 8, 10, or 12?
6.
That is incorrect. Which of these career paths is not available in the base game? Is it astronaut, doctor, chef, or writer?
Doctor.
That is correct. Which of the following is not a life stage in Sims? Is it teen, elder, toddler, infant? Yeah, there you go. That's it. Sorry.
Oh. Okay. They have brought those out now, so I'm gonna guess toddler.
That is incorrect. Which expansion pack introduced the ability to live in apartments?
City Living.
That is correct. What is the name of the secret world that can be accessed through a tree in Willow Creek? Is it Forgotten Grotto, Sixam, Sylvan Glade, or Granite Falls?
6.
That is incorrect. Which of the following traits was added in the Parenthood game? Perfectionist, vegetarian, responsible, or cheerful?
Responsible.
That is correct. In which expansion pack was Sim Influence introduced? That is time up, but you still can answer that question. So I'll repeat that question for you. In which of the expansion packs were Sim Influencers introduced?
Get Famous.
That is correct. They were quite tough, actually. I didn't think they were that tough. I tested them out on my daughter earlier on this week.
They were.
Yeah, and she managed to get a few of them. Just so that you know, obviously, I don't know anything about Sims 4 other than that I used to kill everybody by taking away their options of staying alive. That's probably Sims 3. I don't think you could do it in Sims 4. But you were right with the base game in the Sims world was Willow Creek. Cats and Dogs was the first expansion pack to be able to have pets. The Spellcasters was in the Realm of Magic. The maximum number of Sims you can have in a household without mods is 8. The famous career paths not available were Doctor. That was correct. The life stage that was not available in the base game was Infant. And Sylvan Glade was the name of the secret location. And Responsible was added to the Parenthood. And Get Famous was for the Sim Influencers. So well done there.
Goodbye was the last thing you told me. First time that I ever heard the truth. Even now I'm haunted by the whole thing. Can't believe I believed in you. Oh, I can sing to myself alone in the dark room. Oh, I could run but I won't get far. 'Cause baby you're the ghost in my guitar, tugging all the strings inside my heart. And when I try to write you down, I write you out. It's pouring out again. I hear it in my Yeah, I wanna smash it like a rock star in a hotel room. Before I tell it all the things that I can't tell you, I wanna burn it down to ashes in the driveway. Set it all on fire, babe, you don't get to harm me. Oh, I've been singing myself and they call me crazy. I'm believing them lately. 'Cause baby, you're the ghost in my guitar, tugging all the strings inside my heart. When I try to write you down, I write you out. It's pouring out again. I hear it in my head, and there you are, bringing back the best and the worst parts. When I try to let you go, it still echoes. 'Cause baby, you're the ghost in my guitar. I don't wanna hear another sad song. I don't want a melody to open the door. I told myself the last was the last one, but here's one more. Cause baby, you're the ghost in my guitar, tugging all the strings inside my heart. And when I try to write you down, I write you out. It's pouring out again. I hear it in my head, and there you are, bringing back the best and the worst parts. And when I try to let you go, it still echoes. 'Cause baby, you're the ghost in my guitar. Oh, you're the ghost in my guitar. You're the ghost.
So what is next for you? What are you up to next?
Right now, I'm working on my next EP. So that's kind of most of my time and attention. I'm still gigging all the time, but yeah, in the final stages of recording and getting the mixing and mastering done. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a long time coming as well.
Okay, well, I'm gonna look forward to listening to that. What are your socials, Mia?
Just Mia Ardinez, and then website is just miaardinez.com.
Okay, and of course we'll tag you in Facebook and Instagram and that kind of thing as well. And the last question for you, as always, which question do you wish I'd asked?
I think the question I would have loved you to ask me is, I don't know, do you see yourself in 5 years?
There you go then. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
And the
Other than
answer to
being
that
my
would be
PA, obviously.
yes, obviously that
Yeah.
goes without mentioning.
Yeah.
Mr. Paul's PA. Alongside that career venture, I love to be releasing music more consistently. I've got at the stage now where I got a bit carried away on the writing, so I've got so many songs like in the queue, and I'm writing quicker than I can produce and record and release. So I would love to have that out, at least be on a second album, maybe. So I've got 2 EPs and an album just sat there. So to have that out in the world and kind of keep moving would be great. And to play further afield. A lot of my music is bilingual. I grew up
Yes.
speaking Spanish. So
I didn't manage to get to that
the
question,
opportunity to
unfortunately.
play. That's all right.
Mm.
And the opportunity to play abroad in Spain would be incredible. So in the next 5 years,
So
see
you
if we
could
can make
be
it happen.
supporting Alana Springsteen
Absolutely.
or
I would
Carrie
never
Underwood,
say no.
a dual
Yeah.
headliner with Carrie. The other question I forgot to ask you was, what is your third song for the Spotify playlist?
Yes, my last song is slightly different to the first two, and it is Just Married by Kelsey Ballerini.
Okay.
I love Kelsey's music. And this came from her EP that she wrote about going through her divorce. And honestly, I felt like I'd been through that divorce too. The way it was written was so good.
Fair enough.
I came out of it like, I can't believe the marriage ended, and I wasn't even involved. So it's just beautiful. The production on it is incredible, and I just think it's everything about country music, songwriting, and storytelling. The metaphor, the dance between the lyrics and the instrumentation is beautiful.
Well, there we go. We're popping that into the system now. Mia, thank you very much for coming on the show today. It's been a long time coming, and I apologize about making you wait, but we're back to normal now. And as soon as I've got that spot available for you being the PA, you are definitely in there. Thank you very much, Mia. Take care. Bye bye.